Kote Shime. I recommend watching the juji gatame video first. You can find that just by typing in juji gatame and Suigetsukan. These are two related techniques that actually work really well together. Unfortunately, they're kind of on two different ends of the Shime list. So I show them differently, but I'm going to go back to juji gatame and show how they work together. The setup is very similar to juji gatame. Usually I'm facing somebody standing, they throw a roundhouse punch, two-hand block, and then take them down on their back. We typically use a sotogari, but any technique going that way is fine. Maybe even gashi barai, or our version of a shirogoshi, or hizanage, anything going where I'm going to throw them on their back. Still got that two hands on their arm as I sweep if I'm doing a sotogari. As I come down, I sweep, I come back. Now in juji gatame, we put our knee right behind the elbow, get a little elbow break first. Sensei has stopped using that on Kote Shime, but it's nice to know that it's there. If you want to do it, some kind of standing technique. And just as a reminder that we do it on juji gatame, but no longer on Kote Shime. But in either event, I do need to pin this arm on this side. The most common way is to just throw it down and drop your shin to pin. And then I go into Yoko Shio Gatame. A nasty little variation that I like, instead of just throwing it down both on juji gatame and Kote Shime, is to kind of hook around, stepping over the body, around the arm, and then I have a seat and pin that arm in there. Only downside is that sometimes they'll tap before you can ever get the arm on the other side. But it's a really nice pin. In any case, I get the arm pinned, and I'm in Yoko Shio Gatame, side four corner hold. Just like juji gatame, my hand closest to the feet goes underneath the elbow, above the elbow. When I say above, I mean between the elbow and the shoulder. Grab my own arm, my other hand goes on the forearm, below the elbow, that is between the elbow and the wrist. Make counter pressure on both sides. I'm setting up juji gatame, and they're going to counter that by trying to bend their arm. They're going to curl in to try to prevent me from getting that straight arm bar. Instead of fighting them, I'm just going to go with it. Just curl it in as tightly as I can. I see a lot of people doing all this kind of stuff, leaning the elbow to try to get a little bit further. A couple problems with that. As I do this, you can see how my body weight's coming off of them. It's going to allow them to kind of bridge and roll and mess around. I want to make sure I keep a good pin while I'm doing this and not lose that. And I don't really need to raise it up. I actually want to keep it in tight and kind of curl it in low towards the body. I keep both my elbows, I kind of drag them on the ground. Curl and bring it in until you get a tap. Even if you don't get a tap, this is a nice hold. This is my setup to get to a full mount. Usually at this point, they're so worried about that arm, either because they're worried about tapping out or whatever it is. If it's some other situation where they're worried about you actually breaking it, is they're so worried about this, they're not noticing that I'm hopping up here and uki gatame, getting my knee ride, getting ready to set up tate shio gatame, my mount position to do something else. Even if I don't get it, I can let go of the arm at that point, or even continue working it from mount, or go to something else from here. In any case, the game between juji gatame and Kote Shime is they're counters to each other. I have juji gatame, the arm straight. They're going to try to counter by bending it. I don't fight it, I just bring it in. Their counter to that is they're going to have to straighten their arm if they don't want this to happen. It's a little counterintuitive, but instead of muscling it, if somebody has my arm bent, my best defense is actually to straighten my arm. I'm strongest that way. But once they do that, they're giving me juji gatame back. So should be a losing battle one way or the other, in or out. Lock, break here, lock and break here. And again, like I said, it's a nice setup to transition into a mount position. One last time. However you set it up, you're ending in Yoko Shio Gatame. You might just be resting around on the ground and you get to some kind of side control position. And that arm's out. You go under the arm, grab my own arm, grab the wrist, and then grab the forearm and straighten it out. Sometimes the arm will already be up. That's fine. That makes it easy to get underneath. You just got to grab, and that can start straightening it out. Again, it's the hand closest to the feet, goes underneath the elbow, between the elbow and the shoulder. Grab my own arm, or even gi. Other hand's going to grab the forearm between the elbow and the wrist. Extend, kind of curl to get juji gatame. When they try to counter by bending their arm, just bring it in. Take that forearm, pull it in towards your body, dragging your elbow across the ground. Same thing on this side, I'm really curling it in, dragging my elbow to the ground, right into the ribs. Hug it in. Counter again, try to straighten it. Just play that game until you get a tap and or distracting them enough. Start working my way into a better position. Kote, Shime.